Hi, what's up, everybody? Hi, it's
Hi.
Meg. I am Alice with Infiniteaparty, and today I have Megan here. She's a tarot card reader and a consultant. She has a YouTube channel called The Mother of Tarot, right? That's the name.
Yes.
Yes, I remember it. So today we're going to talk about some tarot and law of attraction stuff, how we can combine them in order for to utilize them basically and really get the most benefits out of it. And also the misconceptions that people have about tarot. Meg is going to tell us all about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm excited for this because there's a lot of good. We already talked prior, and we came up some really good points that I think is really going to help people along their spiritual path. So I know there's a lot of confusion when people give out away too much of their power towards law of attraction or towards tarot readers. If they rely on them too much, right? It kind of give away their own personal power, and it kind of hinders their own intuition. So we're going to talk about tarot versus free will, tarot predictions. Like if you participate in a pick a card reading on YouTube and you're like, how do I always pick the right card, or how do they always know? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about the importance of not knowing everything and why there's so much beauty in the unknown. We're gonna talk about how to also find your soul's purpose. So we have some good pinpoints on that. And then yeah, just a lot of other stuff, and also using tarot and these type of techniques in moderation and kind of finding the balance, right?
Yeah, totally cool. So, do you want us to just dive into it right away? I have the notes here that we had. So, the first thing we wanted to discuss is why people always pick the right card.
Right.
So,
Right. Yeah. So
tell us
that
about.
was something that interested me when I first started playing, or not playing, but participating in pick a card readings. When I found them on YouTube last year, I was like, how do these people know if they've never met me, right? We're not exchanging energy. Like, how am I picking the right card? And it has a lot to do with, yes, their intuition, but it has a lot to do with law of attraction, because you're kind of like, when you play on a pick a card reading and you participate, you already have a higher intuition. You have to have a higher intuition to be able to pick the right card. That's why some people that click on a video and play, and they just like, I'm not getting messages that resonate. This is silly. I don't believe in this. They already don't have that faith, and then they already don't have that intuition that they need.
They're
Some
already blocking themselves from it. So that's why a lot
Yes,
of people say if you don't believe in it, of course it's not gonna work. It's you're already like setting up yourself for nothing. It's gonna be wrong. So yeah.
exactly. And then so once you have this, this belief, this open mind, this intuitive sense, then you pick a card, and you're automatically drawn to, there's like an energy that you're drawn to the pile that's going to resonate the most towards you. So when people pick a card, and they say, oh my gosh, they get so excited about the tarot reader being so on point. And while yes, you should give them credit, like they're doing an amazing job to try to help people and put out this, content for people to, inspire them and heal them and all these things, it was your intuitive guidance, your inner light, that was able to be drawn to that card based off of an attraction of energy. And then with that, I think we could go into some people are like, oh, these tarot readers are super valid and these tarot readers aren't valid, because you'll hear certain, at least I've seen tarot readers on YouTube where they're like, oh yeah, these are the only valid readers that I found. Anyone else is, I can't speak upon anybody else, but these ones are good. And I've clicked on them before. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is one of my favorite tarot readers. I'm going to find, all these people that she recommends. And then I go to their videos and nothing at
Yeah.
all resonates. And I'm like, or I find tarot readers like we talked about,
Yeah.
there's a tarot reader that's
Say
really
their
popular.
yeah.
And we're like, why aren't we resonating with anything that she said, even though she has thousands, tens
Yeah.
of thousands of views on her channel? And the reason is there's a lot of people that are like you and that have similar energy and that are part of your soul tribe. Even if you don't technically meet them, they're a part of your same energy. They've been through similar experiences as you. So when they're reading these cards, they're reading from their own interpretation, their own perception, and what they've been through. And it's very similar to what you've been through. And those are the kind of tarot readers that are going to resonate with you.
Mhm.
That's why you might think, oh, this tarot reader is bad, I never resonate. They're not bad, they're just not in your tribe. They're not in your energy. They're in somebody, their messages were made for somebody else.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And I just remembered. This is gonna be like real quick, and it's more about like an astrology thing. But I remember I was reading, and I was like doing my research about some astrology stuff because I was diving into it. However, I still believe there's like free will always. I know people who had difficult charts, and like the chart says you're gonna suck in life, and they were able to transform themselves. So
Yeah.
it's like tarot, law of attraction, like astrology. Those are all tools. This is not like
Yeah.
that's it, engraved in stone. So I remember I was reading about people who were born on the same day at the same time. They were not aware, like at the same city or something like that.
Okay.
They're called like astrological twins. So they had the same life path. So a lot of those tarot readers, obviously, we're not all born on the same day as like the other people who are like getting those messages. But I feel like something in the sky, like something uniting us. Maybe we do have some points of like attraction, some similar points, and we're all just vibing on that wave. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really
I
like
like
that?
that.
Yeah.
I never thought about it from that perspective, but yeah,
Yeah.
like we're all born at certain times in certain places, and it's all connected in some sort of like.
So it's like we're like in these little groups, and that's why we can connect. It's like when you're in high school and you have all sorts of like science club, drama club, and you're all like drawn. Those are all different people with different experiences, but you're all drawn into the same thing for some reason. So I think that's also kind of part of it, but I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, I like that theory. I think I've never heard somebody say it like that before. So it's just interesting. I mean, it's something that like, it would be it seems impossible to prove. Maybe in another like 50 or 60 years somebody will like figure out some sort of map or code to like intertwine people and in that way. But I think
we do have so many things right now that are people used to make fun of and be like, oh, this is, come on, please. And, it's proved, like, science or whatever. But, yeah, that's cool.
Well, I just want to say, when you said that, I had a ringing in my ear, and I'm clairaudient. So, like, sometimes, it's not always, I'm still learning, but, like, I'll get a ringing or a vibration or something, like, my ears, and it's usually, like, some sort of confirmation for, like, something's right.
I get that too.
Yeah, so I just wanted to share that because I was like, whoa, something's about, and it happened right before you said that, and usually when that happens, I'm like, okay, I need to, like, really pay attention or really, like, focus on something,
Yeah, yay, I'm onto something.
You're onto something.
So if someone will find the answer or has an explanation, let me know, please.
Comment below.
Yeah, comment below for sure. So yeah, we talked about who are valid tarot readers, which is like, I mean, I do want to say though, there are like, I just want to say, unfortunately, there are a lot of I don't want to say, like, I don't want to give it like a negative name, but there are people who are faking it, I guess, and it's not just tarot readers. Those
everywhere.
All kinds of coaches, even like fitness coaches, nutrition coaches. So just be careful. Go with your gut and do your research.
Yeah. And I always tell people when they're finding tarot readers online or life coaches or even counselors or like anybody that they're going to for guidance, astrologers, right? Like, don't let every word they say like take power over what you want out of life, because like, it goes along with, the whole free will thing and having your own power, but you should be finding people that empower you. Like, the people that are teaching you should really be people that are guiding you to make your own decisions. And I know it's easy for us in life to get caught up in wanting people just to give us the answers, because like that's the easy way out, and it's just, it's easier if someone's just like, oh, this is what's coming and this is it, and what's done is done. But at the same time, when they say something that's negative, right, it can freak people out, or, you know, with
So
whatever it is.
about the negative thing, I wanna touch on that as well, because um, so one of the misconceptions again that people have is you go to a tarot reading and somebody can give you like a bad, not a bad, just just something that you
Right.
feel is negative,
Yeah.
and people are like, they go crazy. So they
Yeah.
kind of program themselves, and they think that this is it. This is like set in stone, and this is how it's gonna happen. And after you and I talked about it, I thought about it more, and I read about it more. I found some people. It was funny because then you get messages to like
Mm-hmm.
confirm some stuff or find information, and they said that just remember again, tarot is a great like tool that if you see something negative is gonna happen, they're just showing you based on the energy. I like how you said it when
Yeah.
we were talking on the phone, your old
Yeah.
energy, and it's
Yeah,
true.
that's the cycles, remember? Because we're caught up in cycles. You can think of your life in repetitive patterns, right? We keep attracting the same type of relationships, the same type of friends, the same jobs, because we're stuck in the same energy. So
Yeah,
when a tarot reader predicts something like negative or bad coming into the future, it's something that's already been coming into your
yeah,
life. It's been in this circle. It's been coming back. It might be coming in a new way, or a different way, but it's the same energy being recycled. So what's beautiful about when a tarot reader can bring this up is like bring up that energy, but say, okay, like this is how you shift it. Like this is
yeah.
how we move past it, and this is how you bring in better energy. You don't just say, well, this is what's coming, and like, good luck. Hopefully,
You're
you get through
screwed. Where's
it.
the money? Bye. Have a good day.
Yeah, so it's good to talk about the darker stuff, but tarot readers, in my opinion, I mean, I think if we're going to be helping guide people and getting, connected to their energy and their intuition, we should have some tools and
Yeah,
some, concepts to bring to them to break free from the patterns of the old belief patterns and recycled energy that people don't want anymore. That's why people want a happier life. They want to
yeah,
make shifts and changes. It's to break free from the repetition of old
for
energy.
sure. I saw like I saw like this sentence. It was by like Abraham Hicks, which is like a law of attraction
Yeah.
teacher or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And she said that your real. I heard it so many times, but it just like I just got it. Like your
Yeah.
reality is old news, and I was like,
Mm,
it's true because like literally everything that happens right now. Maybe you had a really sucky day, right? Or maybe you went to a tarot reading again, and somebody told you, "Oh, I see like you having difficulties in your relationship or at work or whatever." And I
right.
see maybe this is not working out, and you're like, oh my god, but you have to understand, like everything in your reality is happening with a delay. Unfortunately, it's not like in movies like, I want a car,
Right.
here's your car, right? It happens
Yeah.
with a delay. So you have to understand that the sooner you break those patterns, the better it is, because everything that's happening right now, it's like your old thoughts, your old patterns that you recycle over and over again. And also, like tarot is a great opportunity to listen to it and say, okay, so this is the reading I got based on my energy. What does that mean? Does that mean I'm screwed for life? No, it means I have to shift it. I have to change my energy,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna happen. The old like it's not going to happen if you change it. If you become something else, and if you go down this road, for sure it's gonna happen. And the more you
Yeah.
think about it, it's gonna happen. So I guess don't be scared of getting like bad news.
Hmm.
It's a blessing. It's like a warning, like, hey, change something, wake up, you know?
Right. Right. And
So,
sometimes even just to shift your reality doesn't take like a big major life change, like, oh, I have
yeah,
to quit a job, or I have to break up with my boyfriend. Sometimes it's just a shift in perception. Like you
yeah,
just shift the way you think or the way you see something. And it's all about like these little light bulbs that go off during your spiritual path and your
it's
awakening. And
true.
sometimes that's enough to completely shift your energy.
I was um like I was talking to this medium lady, and she's amazing. She's like
Yeah.
phenomenal. And
Uh-huh.
I remember I saw, yeah, it was like a while ago, and I saw a post. She was talking about like spirituality, and she said, guys, sometimes being like more spiritual or more aligned with yourself is not even about like doing super spiritual stuff. It's not about like meditating the whole day with beads or crystals. Sometimes
Right.
it's literally drinking water
Yeah.
or eating more healthy, which is like that's like a whole separate topic.
Right. Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but like for instance, when you have a thought of like, oh, I don't think I'm worthy, just catch yourself on that and say, no, I am worthy. Like I have to stop this crap. Like it's just
Hmm.
thought. So
Yeah.
I like how she said that sometimes it's not about doing super spiritual stuff, not
Yeah.
meditating for 10
Yeah.
hours. It's making, just like you said, it's about making those small little changes, like changing your perception, but that's going to change your whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and those shifts, like, yeah, like you said, they happen in your day-to-day thoughts, they happen in your day-to-day conversations. Like the most spiritual growth you usually do is more of when you're in your mind, or you're like thinking, or you're at work and you're, it's not, yeah, when you're meditating, that's like the easy stuff. It's like
Yeah,
easy to get into a quiet, calm space when you're,
it is.
and the lights are low and you have your music on and your eyes are closed. It's the harder work. It's when you're out and about and people are
Mhm.
treating you, or you're on social media and somebody is like attacking you, or like that's when the real growth happens,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, for sure. So just those little things that you can do is really, really, it's gonna change your life. Okay, so another topic that we have that I am sure a lot of people are like, oh my god. So we talked about your your story and your like soulmate.
Yes.
So we're not gonna, well, however you want to do it, you can,
Right.
expand on that or not.
Yeah.
I respect your privacy, but um, when you said that, I would not have wanted to know, and some things are better left unknown, and I
Yeah.
completely agree. Like, as a Gemini, I can totally say that for someone who thinks so much, like I'm always too analytical, I always have to know
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah. No,
And
and I feel like that too. I still struggle with it. Like even though I see beauty in the unknown, and I can look back now in my life, like I'm 30. How old am I? 34 now, and
mhm,
I met my soulmate just this past year when I was 33. And if somebody would have told me, like a tarot reader, at 23 years old, that I would meet my soulmate in 10
yeah,
years, I would have been really upset. I would have been like, what? Like,
Simba,
yeah, I don't want to know that. I wouldn't want to know that. And I think a lot of people watching could agree with that, right?
yeah,
They're like, "Oh no, I just want to know. I just want to know." But like some things like that, you're not supposed to know. And I think, it's important to remember that. And there's a lot of like I realize the readings that do the best on YouTube are like, when will I meet my soulmate? When will I get married? What
yeah,
will my husband be like? And I like to do those readings sometimes. I think it's fun, but you have to be careful, because even if like I do a time prediction and I'm like, oh, I see, this kind of time, like only take what resonates, and know that like most of the time those time stamps and time frames aren't going to be completely accurate unless it really feels like it. Like if there's this gut feeling when you hear that, like, oh, 6 months, and you feel this strong feeling, then there's something to back it up. But if it's just like a wishful thinking, like, oh, I hope I do, then it might not be, because when I met my soulmate, right before I met him, I kept having this strong gut feeling that I was going to meet him soon. And I
really,
kept seeing all of these signs. Yeah, I kept seeing repetitive twos everywhere,
mm,
like so many twos. And the one day, it was like close before I met him, I was just seeing them everywhere. Like I almost felt like I was going insane. Like I probably saw like 100 times, like two, 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 two.
wow,
And I was like, what are these twos? And then I met him, and then we were friends for a while. And then right before I told him I liked him, I was seeing them everywhere again. And so, I believe, trusting in the signs and the synchronicities and like your own intuition, and then using tarot as like a tool. Like if that, and I always tell people, like, take what resonates, take what
yeah,
resonates,
and also to touch on that, because when you said that they're not gonna be always like, set in stone, like it is what it is. Again, on that point that we said that those readings are based on your vibration right now, like where you at right now. So maybe if you change that, it can happen sooner or later.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. You
So
can switch
yeah,
times. You can, depending on how much you're working on
yeah,
yourself. Also, when people want to
belief
attract a
system.
soulmate, it's really about learning to love yourself. And the sooner you get to this point of self acceptance and self love, it's like that's when the men come in, the women, like whoever's watching.
Also, we didn't really have this in our notes, but I think what you just said is like so important because people keep um, talking about this whole like I think it's the most like common topic. People just want to know when they're gonna get married or find their soulmates or whatever. And even like the law of attraction, I see a lot of videos of like how to manifest your like specific person or how to attract them. And there are like steps of what you can do. But the thing is that like it's about self-love. It really is because when we're kids, we're told like if like I heard that so many times, if you're not gonna love yourself, no one is gonna love you. And I agree. You're gonna keep attracting people who are not. They're not gonna truly love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they because a lot of I have a lot of like girlfriends who are struggling with relationships, and we're all struggling with something, right? We're all working on something,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are in this cycle of like they're always, oh, I'm so, why am I so lonely? Like, oh my God, when will I meet my person? And it comes from such a place of like desperation and a place of lack,
Yeah.
which if you are in lack, you like, dude, you're gonna keep attracting more lack, or you're gonna keep attracting people. All of a sudden, people will appear in your life and you'll think, okay, it's destiny, but then it's gonna go south again. Why? It's based on your like old energy.
Yeah.
So you have to love your self-love. Self-love is not about buying something expensive. It's about really accepting yourself. However, I also feel it's not just accepting yourself as you are. I feel like work on yourself. We're all here to evolve. You either evolve or you just go backwards, you know?
Yeah. Or you just stay stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I love that you said that about the self-love and finding a person, because I think that kind of ties in with the other topic that I did want to bring up, which is like finding your soul's purpose. Because I think with finding your soulmate and your soul purpose and your soul tribe, I think there's like certain
They're
things
all
that
connected.
everyone can do to attract all of that together like at one time. And I want to go over some of that and then just kind of like talk
Yeah,
about that for a little bit. Don't you think that's a good idea?
that's a
Okay.
great idea.
So, I know a lot of people talk about, and for me, this kind of resonated, but it's kind of like when you're finding, we can say soul's purpose, but it connects to all of it, right?
Yeah,
Looking at what you like to do as a child, like the things you like to do for fun. Now, for me, it was like I couldn't think of something specific, but something that I did do as a child was I liked helping people. I was always like attracted to people that had broken homes, really hard home lives, or kind of more abusive parents. So like I, at a young age, was like wanting to help heal people. I mean, that was like, I just felt called to do that. So I think, like, if there's something you like to do, or it could be something more artistic, but like looking at your childhood, your traits, your characteristic, traits, what you surround, like, kind of friends you surrounded yourself with, just like kind of like taking notes on your childhood. Maybe there's certain sports or an instrument that you played or anything like that. That's like part of it. Because if you can bring up a piece of that, right, back into your life as an adult, that's going to help like expand on your soul's purpose, because you're bringing in like more like awareness to your childhood, to your like your inner child that
yeah,
needs that love and playfulness and like attention. Also looking at like the favorite things that you have to do, like that you or your I'm sorry, your favorite things to do
hmm,
right now, or your interests, right? Because I really got into, like, I've always been into intuitives and
hmm.
psychics and tarot readers, but
But
I've
you
never thought
didn't
that I could do
until
that.
later, right?
What's that?
But you didn't really get into it until later in life.
Yeah,
So
yeah, until I was 33. So, but I always found such an interest, but I always felt like, oh, I could never do that. Like, that's something you're born into. That's something that you wake up one day and you're like psychic. That was my belief. That was my perception. And
yeah,
it kept me away from that, because I thought you had to be like a certain way. So if there's something that you see that you like, and you're like, oh, I think that's cool, but I can't do that. Like that's a key. That's a key to like your soul's purpose.
Yeah. Also, I remember I heard, like, it's so cheesy, but it's so true. Think about, like, what would you want to do for like a long period of time till the rest of your lives? It doesn't have to be one thing forever. Now we can switch and change stuff, but that you don't have to do for money. If you could do something and you
Yeah.
have a lot of money in the bank, what would you
Right.
do? Now, answers like party and drink. Maybe you can be like a club promoter. I don't know, you
Right.
know.
Right. You like to be around people, but yeah. Yeah.
And kind of like, it doesn't have to be one profession. Also, because purpose, we have soul purpose, and we have careers, and they can, like, we can tie them together, but it doesn't have to be just one thing. You can try things, because yeah, you tried a lot of things. I tried a lot of things, and it's okay to
Yeah.
keep trying. I think also because we live in a world where everyone is always comparing, and everyone is always like, well, do you have your shit together? Like, do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. And I think also on that is, some people think, well, once I find my soul's purpose, I'll just do it. But that's not really how it works. It's not like, oh, you figure it out and then you do it. It's kind of like you just start getting in your creative energy. You start doing things that you love. You start getting out of your comfort zone, and then it starts to come together. For some people, it might be more dramatic. They might just have like, oh my God, this is my purpose, like,
Yeah.
but most of the time it's because they've been in this kind of energy of getting
It's
creative.
your
So
belief
if you
system.
if
Yeah.
you want to if you want to figure out what your artistic gifts are, you just start being an artist. You just start painting. I don't know how to paint, but like sometimes I'll just paint, like just to get
Yeah.
in that energy, or like play an instrument, or just pick anything, like make a video. Like that's what I started doing. I just started making videos on my Instagram, and it terrified me, and I was like, I'm not good at this. Why am I doing this? Like I'm so nervous. And I was like feeling like a fool, but I knew I was doing something that was very healing. I knew I was helping people, which I loved. And I knew that I had a voice to share, even though it was shaky and it was scared, and I was like, I couldn't breathe, and I felt like I was going to throw up, right? I was getting out of my comfort zone. I was just getting in creative energy, and then it led me eventually to doing this tarot videos, because I wouldn't be able to do these tarot videos right now if I hadn't been
Just
practicing
step by
my
step.
skills being on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so tell us, how can people kind of use tarot to, because we talked about this, and we kind of talked about how when you go to a tarot reader, you're like, what's my life purpose? Tell me now. Like,
Yeah.
and people expect to hear, like, you have to be a brain surgeon. Like,
Yeah.
it's not gonna, only you know, but how
Yeah.
can people utilize tarot, whether if it's going to a tarot reader or like even themselves, like, what can I do today? Maybe you can
Mm-hmm.
tell me something, right, with the
Yeah.
tarot that can kind of help me. Maybe the tarot won't tell me a specific thing, but kind of guide me into
Mm-hmm.
what I should be doing. Like, how can people use that? Again, because it's a great tool, I feel like.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's different for every person. I think some people are really guided to the pick of cards and they use that as a tool, because even if people are looking for their soul's purpose, what's beautiful about tarot, everybody reads the cards differently and they all give a unique perception and a unique outlook as to, I could have the same belief that that tarot reader is saying, the same exact belief, but they say it in a different way.
Yeah.
So it's really about the words that they use that's really helpful for people, right? It gives the people the calming energy, it gives people a shift in perspective. So I think just going to the pick of cards and not having a high expectation of I'm going to figure all this out. Like if you're reading, you're doing a reading that's like, what's your soul's purpose? And the reading isn't like saying this is exactly what it is, but they're kind of like getting you, like helping you get there. Like
Yeah.
be open-minded to like the suggestions and the just the perceptions. And because what tarot readers do a lot, at least for me, is help me look at the world differently, because we get so centered in our own belief patterns and our own thoughts, and it really helps to open our minds even more. So I think just going into a reading with just an open mind, not taking everything completely seriously or literally, just whatever resonates, whatever really clicks, hold on to that, write it down. You know what I mean? Journal about it. And
Yeah.
then if you do feel called to work with your own deck, I think that's great. It strengthens your intuition even more. Because what you can do is you can just pull a couple cards. I would say if you're not familiar with tarot, I would say start with the oracle deck first, because tarot takes a long time to learn and it can get a little overwhelming for people that don't want to put a lot of time into it. So I would say start with an oracle deck, and they just have beautiful, like, simple messages and beautiful pictures on them. And you can pull one a day, or, you can shuffle them and just say a mantra or intention to the universe, like what intention, what energy should I focus on today? And then whatever card pops out, see how that kind of correlates with your current energy or current situation. Or if you want to ask about a person, are their intentions good? And you can see what card pops out and see how it gets you to work with your inner guidance, because really they're just kind of clues, right? Like the tarot cards and the oracle cards, it's not like I just see the cards and I'm like, oh, this is exactly the message. I have to put them, like, the pieces together in order to form a message. So it's kind of just clues that's tied into your own energy. And it just, what I really like about tarot, I want to say one more thing. So I'm kind of like going on a tangent.
No, please.
For me, like, I'm a hands-on person. I'm a visual learner. I've always been like that since I was a kid. I had a hard time in school. So I was always good with any kind of hands-on activities, right? And what I love about tarot is that, basically you shuffle these cards, and the cards kind of like read your energy, right? Because everything's so connected to our beings and energetically speaking. So when you pull the cards out, you're kind of reading your own energy, right? So say I pull like 3 tarot cards, right? And I look at them, or 3 oracle cards.
Death, the Tower, the Devil. No.
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Right. It happens sometimes now. But what's happening is it's taking my thoughts, my overactive mind, right? My overactive mind, it's taking them and putting them on paper and putting them in pictures. So it's almost like almost kind of like journaling, right? To get your thoughts out. Like people write to get their thoughts out. I look at tarot like that. So for people that are like really hands-on learners that want to strengthen their intuition, I think that, working with a deck of your own could really be beneficial if you are too much in your head and you can't sort out everything that's going on. It just kind of puts it on paper and it puts it in front of you, and it's almost organizes it in a sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually I did that, like, and I do that until this day. And even though I know a lot of people who talk about like law of attraction, when they say tarot or astrology, they go like, oh, again, I think it's because, because a lot of people do get to like go way too much into it, like live their lives according to that. And I don't think it should be like, you should live your life according to what you want, but still use it. Like those tools are there for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It exists for a reason. You can use it or abuse it. So it's really up to you.
Moderation, finding the light workers and tarot readers that, and it doesn't have to be just tarot readers, spiritual leaders online that empower you, that get you thinking, that help you strengthen your intuition. Like that's the kind of people you want to work with. And you don't want to give away all of your power. You don't, because yes, that can be easier. Like we said, it can be easy just to say, oh, you tell me exactly what to do so I don't have to do anything, right? Like when we're a little kid and our parents just tell us what to do. But when you do that, your intuition, you're not going to be working with your intuition, your inner guidance. And in the long run, while you might have some kind of comfort in that short term, right, this little bit of comfort, you're still giving away your power, and it's going to leave you more frazzled and more confused in the long run, because you're going to be disconnected from yourself.
For sure. And like I remember I had this situation when I was getting some bad vibes. Also, I really want to talk about this because I'm going nuts over people who are like, I don't want to talk to them. They give me bad vibrations. That's it. I'm going to remove them from my life forever. Like, no, dude, you keep the same position. Life is like a roller coaster. So I remember at some point that there was like a certain person that I was getting really bad vibes from. And I wasn't sure if it's just me imagining it, or like I wasn't sure. And I remember I decided to do like a reading for myself. And the cards really showed me that this person has a lot of negativity in their lives at the moment, and a lot of shit in their lives at the moment. And I didn't think to myself, oh my God, I should never talk to them again. It's like I could hear someone telling me that it's temporary for now. Just don't let it be. Once the storm will pass, you can be in their lives again. And not saying it was a friend in need that I was like, sorry, I don't want to get into your drama, nothing like that.
Right.
But I was getting like a lot of jealousy. And again, it's easy to be jealous when you're going through bad shit and you see someone else is doing better, you know?
So
Um,
you were feeling jealous.
no, I wasn't. I
Oh,
was that person was like feeling very jealous, but not specifically of me, just everyone, you
I
know?
see. Yeah, and you picked up on it. Yeah.
Was that stuff. And so I remember I thought to myself, for now, I'm just gonna let it go. But when it feels right, like I'm gonna get back to that person kind of. And it took some time, but it passed. And I remember that person actually contacted me, and I was
Oh
really
well.
surprised because I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do anything about that. And when I was like, I got a really good vibe, everything was fine. And I remember I did a reading, and the reading was like, it's all good. And that person told me, oh yeah, everything is fine, everything worked out with this and that and that and that. It's better. So I was
Yeah.
like, it doesn't. Again, it's based on the energy right now. It doesn't mean it's forever gonna be like that. And I feel
Right.
again, because soulmates and love is such a big topic, I feel like people can go, should I get in contact with this person, right? And it can show you like the devil, the tower, like and it's a no. But sometimes, guys, sometimes it could be a temporary no. Why?
Right.
Because you have to work on yourself, and they have to work on themselves.
Yeah.
If,
Yeah. It's all in divine timing.
yeah,
Yeah.
if you feel an intense connection to somebody, not just lust, but you feel that connection, and you might, because I had a friend, she had like a bad reading like that, and she was like Alex,
Mm-hmm.
I feel the connection towards this person, and I said, listen, there, then there's something you have to work on, and they have to work on, because maybe if you get
Yeah.
to them now, it's not gonna work out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and
I,
I love no, but I love how you said that, your intuition came in really strong with that person and you
yeah,
knew there was some sort of connection. And I think people need to be aware of that because I think some people are so afraid of like bad energy. People live in this fear now because their intuition is increasing, which is great, but then they're also feeling energies from other people and they're like, I've been working on myself. I don't want this energy. Like
go away.
yeah, because I don't want to absorb it and I'm an empath. And I think when people live in that fear, that's when that energy starts to arise because
Yeah,
not only are you scared of their energy, but now you're building a negative toxic aura just from being afraid of that
you
person.
project fear. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So you're almost admitting just as much as negative energy. So if people are like, well, how do I protect myself? How do I protect myself? Stand in your energy, stand in your power, know that you're protected, you're divinely guided. You have a lot of you know, powerful energy around you to protect you, and you're not going to absorb someone's energy. The only time you really absorb other people's energy, from my experience being a tarot reader and helping people, is when like if somebody comes to me and they're really crying, say something really terrible happened in their life and something recently or maybe something from the past that's coming through in the reading, and they get really upset, maybe it's something very very dark, and they start crying, and then I, as like a tarot reader, start to feel really bad for them, and then I start to cry, and I'm like, that's me absorbing their energy, that's me coming down to their energy. But if I, as a tarot reader, stay in my power and still sympathize for that person without coming down with them, stay strong and help them. And this takes practice, right? This takes
Yeah,
practice. And I'm able to help them without being like, oh my God, like this is insane. Like, I can't believe this happened. Oh my. But if I'm able to stay calm and in my own energy, then I'm not absorbing their energy. I'm letting them feel their pain. I'm holding space for them so that they can release it. I'm holding a space of love and, where they feel
I agree.
comforted
I,
so they
I
can release the
totally.
energy. And then I'm not absorbing it. So then I don't feel like crap after the reading or feel like drained. And this is something that requires a lot of attention.
Yeah,
It's all
where
from the mind. It's like the mind.
yeah, I agree. I had that since I was a kid. I didn't know it then. I didn't know what an empath was. Everyone,
Right,
you and I, we talked about it. People just go, "You're too sensitive,"
right,
um,
right.
and I could physically feel stuff, physically get sick from
Mm.
things, even
Yeah,
though the
yeah,
doctors were like, "No, you're fine." And I didn't know about that, and people were just like, "Oh, you're just too sensitive." So what ended up happening is I kind of had to develop like boundaries, and I think for a lot of people, I can come off as like, "Oh, you're like like really, I'm gonna say a nice word, like strong, you know? You're like, you're not too sensitive because people can cry and I'm like, well, da 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 da. However, it's not because I don't care. It's because I'm trying to be helpful, productive, but I have to protect myself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I feel things intensely. I think I told you the story of when I went to a certain place and I felt like crap and I wanted to run away. And I was like, am I losing it? And then I
Yeah.
found out that people told me that, oh yeah, a bunch of people died and a bunch of people are in hospitals and all of these people are like really worried about their relatives. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm not
Right.
crazy.
Like you picked up the energy of the room and
The
you felt
minute
you and it
there.
made you feel kind of sick. Yeah, and I think I like that you said that too because I think it's important for people to recognize that and protect their own energy. And I
Yeah.
think as you grow on the spiritual path, you can be more around people like that or different energies like that and you can start to like build up a almost like a immunity or like a
Yeah.
tolerance over time once you start to love yourself more, your personal power grows stronger. And I think, but like, yeah, if there is someone in your life that drains you or a person that you feel is toxic, like it's okay to set up those boundaries
Yeah.
and not be, and maybe you'll come back into their life one day when you have more of this kind of like, I don't know, a stronger foundation for your spiritual life, right? It's like, it's kind of honoring
Yeah.
where you're at and like protecting yourself in that sense.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So, always protect yourself. I feel everyone is doing it in a different way. Some people imagine like a bubble or
Right.
in a light, or someone can carry a crystal with them. And
Right. That's what I did. I worked with crystals a lot. The bubble thing never really worked for me. Like it was hard for me to do that. So I worked with like crystals and sage and things like
same,
that. And I don't really have to do it as much anymore now. Like I don't feel as drained after my readings. Like when I first started doing tarot readings, like I would just be like on the bed, like, whoa, you know?
these people,
Yeah.
human.
I'm like, oh, I just absorbed everything. And now I'm like, oh, I feel fine. Like, it depends on the reading, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, and the last point we had here, we went a little beyond that, but it's cool, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's okay.
So the other point we had, the last one, is like using tarot in moderation. I think we kind of talked about it, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I feel like we did, unless there's another. I mean, I don't want to make the video too long because
yeah,
I'm already at like 50
good.
minutes, and I know people, only have a certain attention span. But yeah, I feel like we already mentioned that. Unless there's anything else you want to touch on that topic.
I just want to say about the soul purpose again and the tribe. I do agree that once you align yourself, with your higher self, um, all of these things will come. However, sometimes it takes time, and
Yeah.
just like don't. And I'm saying this to myself and to everybody else
Yeah.
because patience is a virtue, and
Yeah. Patience. Yeah.
I think patience is a talent. I think it's a very
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a great, the best talent and gift you can have. So work on that,
Yeah.
while you're working on yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
also, when you said like you can use tarots for like to guide you, even in like the law of attraction, I just want to say that I remember people used to be like, how to get a car, or how to manifest a house, how to manifest your dream job. And then I thought to myself, okay, but how do you manifest? Because I had friends who didn't know what they wanted to do, and because I was doing something since I was a kid, and then it changed along the way, but I kind of always knew. And then I thought, okay, but what do you do when you don't know? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
one thing if you know you want to be a doctor, or like but what if you have no clue? So a really cool thing that you can do is really like journaling and writing down, just like, I follow my highest soul's purpose.
Oh yeah. Like
I am
scripting.
grateful.
Yeah.
I follow my highest soul purpose. It feels amazing doing what I love and being alive. And just get yourself into feeling just good when you do it, and don't think about what it is. And I swear, if you keep doing this, things will start coming. Now, maybe it's not going to be the first thing that's going to come into your life, because again, old patterns, old belief, because the universe is
Right.
like, okay, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
You align yourself to that higher thing. So as long as you keep doing that, it's going to happen, and it's a great tool.
Yeah, no, that happened to me. I've been working on myself for a while. I've been eating really clean. I've been healing myself from some physical ailments I had. And then I started scripting in January, the beginning of January 2020, and I started writing every day in my notebook, like, I found my highest soul's purpose, like, I know what I want to do, and blah, blah, blah. And then by like April, I started my tarot readings in my channel, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, and I mean, yeah, that was only 4 months, right? But like, I had been doing all the things that we talked about before, and then adding on that journaling and that scripting, it kind of amplified it, you know?
Yeah.
Gave that extra, like.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, guys, these were our 2 cents. Thank you, Megan, for talking about tarot. Because I think anything you can use it. You know, anything.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. And comment down below, you guys, if you have more questions or anything that you like that we talked about that you want us to like expand on, or anything like that. We'd like to hear from everybody, so let us know.
For sure. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Much love. And I don't know, until our next video, maybe we'll do something else in our
sounds good. Well, yeah, we'll figure something out. But all right, thanks guys for checking us out, and we'll see you next time. Bye.